This album is not a concept album. I mean, we could say it is, but we could say it's. I mean, it's hard to tell what is a concept album really. But I would say that there is a vibe, a common vibe behind everything. Of course, because it's a picture of what Gojira is now, or in the past year or 2 years maybe. So there's a vibe, a very special vibe. There's a reflection on life in general and our condition as human beings. In the lyrics, I talk a lot about freedom without talking directly about freedom. I have a reflection on this. What is it to be free, really? What is freedom? You know, with independence, for example, if freedom is independence, comes responsibility. You know, like the more you're independent, the more you're responsible, and you have to be responsible. Otherwise, you just fail and you die. You have to sustain. You have to find a shelter. Right. So this question was in my mind the whole time when I was writing, and but it's definitely not a concept album. It's like what we are today. The very first song, Explosion, is one of my favorite. Like really, it's in my opinion a very entertaining song. The title is a little strange. It's an invented word. Of course, very close to an explosion. It's an explosion, and we really wanted something groovy and yet chaotic for the opening of this album, and the song turns into something else, and then into something else again, and it's like three different parts in the song that are very distinct. It's a pretty long song also, so for an opening song it was a little strange, but I like the vibe, and it sets the tone for the whole album right away. The title track, L'Enfant Sauvage, the title track, the lyrics are very different compared to what we usually do. I'm not into stars or black holes or the origin of life anymore, but more into everyday life feelings and concerns. It's way more personal than it was in the past. I tend to write on the mysteries of life and what's happening after death and all that kind of stuff. In this song, it's really about my relation with society in general, and I believe that the more a song is personal and you go deep in the lyrics, on a personal point of view, the more people can rely on the music. And it's a paradox that the closer to the individual, the closer to the entire humanity. So it's a pretty powerful song in the emotion, and it's the first single of the album. The track number 3 is The Axe. It's a very typical Gojira song. All the ingredients of our music are on this song, and it's about the mind that can be sharp like an axe. It's not the case right now for my part, but I'm working at it. I'm trying to make it sharper. The track number 4, Liquid Fire, that would be our 4 horsemen. It's the first time in a song that I will talk about Gojira, like what we are, what we're doing, and I talk about us, about the four of us, and our way of life, how we talk to the world, and the lyrics are about, it's like the Four Horsemen, like we present. This is the first time we do this, it's pretty new for us. Track number 5 is just an interlude, and it's called The Wild Healer. It's just a little guitar thing with a work on the production. The sound is slightly different. And we like to do this in general in our albums. We always come up with a little interlude that is kind of pose the album to come back to something very intense and crushing. And it brings contrast in the album. So nothing special, it's just a simple, very simple something, melody that we enjoyed playing in the practice room. Track number 6, Planned Obsolescence, is probably my favorite in the album. It's like very, very exciting. It starts with a grind part, and then there's a very fast double kick part, and then it turns into something more open. There's a rock vibe in the middle of the song, and I can really express myself in the song the way I sing. I really scream and sing at the same time at the level that I really love. It's like I feel very comfortable in the song. So I cannot wait to play that live, definitely. Track number 7, called Mouth of Kala. Kala means time in Sanskrit, and so it's a song about the present moment and how time goes by so fast, and how humanity is obsessed by youth and terrified by time that goes away, and the message in the song is that we should just be in the present moment, something like that. And the music is like very simple, there's a cold aspect, especially in the intro. The whole beginning of the song is like a giant metal snake crawling very slowly, and I love this. I love to create this coldness on purpose. Makes me feel warm inside. The next song, number 8, is called The Gift of Guilt, and it was a big reflection on the network of guilt between people in general in our society, and how guilt is always present in education, and relationships, and it's very, very hard to get rid of the guilt. In religion, education, it seems like guilt is everywhere between people. It's like sometimes I feel like that, like we would be much better without this. So it's a reflection about this, and is it even necessary to feel guilty at all? I mean, do we need guilt to protect ourselves from killing each other or hurting each other? I don't know. But it was very interesting to write about it. But again, it's hard just in a song to go very deep in the subject. So I'm more of a poet when I write about guilt than a real writer. I cannot go very deep in this. I just put words together that they need to sound good. They need to. But I like the reflection before writing the lyrics, for sure. So in this song, there's I don't know, there's a vibe to it that's really really Gojira, again, of course. Track number 9 is called Pain is a Master. There's a slow intro, and there's and then it turns into this experimental, very intense and heavy song. We created a special pattern at the end that is something that's written. It's not even something that repeats itself or whatever. So don't even try to find the key of the code, because there's no code. It's just something written. It's random code, and the lyrics are about pain itself and how crushing it can be sometimes, and you can be all of a sudden face down on the floor, crying all the tears of the world because life is really hard sometimes. But this is a good way to learn things. Sometimes when you go through pain and you survive, and then you get stronger. And the idea is that sometimes when you don't have someone to show you the way or to help you in difficulties, in difficult moments, you can always count on pain to learn things. So this is the idea, that pain can be a master. Track number 10 is Born in Winter. So it's the kind of track that we love recording. It's not metal. The beginning is very calm, very relaxed. It's a tapping. We like to play with tapping in general in our albums. So the whole song is a big tapping track. I enjoyed singing on this also, with a very calm voice. Maybe for the first time I sing really on a very low tone. Track number 11 is The Fall. It's about it's a lot about chaos. The lyrics are just like a painting of chaos, and the music is the same thing. It's like something very deep and very dark and simple, but dark. Love it.